We saw a lot of Friends this weekend, which was nice.
Yeah, big Friends. There's a lady lunch, and at the same time, there was a boy bagel brunch, and then everybody came
the
together.
lady lunch was planned months ago, and then some boys decided to glom onto our plans.
We had a wonderful time. Let's see, what else? We were in New Jersey the weekend before, helping some friends with their new house, picking out tile. It was a lovely time.
Yeah, you were like the child, like just sitting there, like touching things you shouldn't be touching. I was just trying to
occupy myself.
Yeah.
Then we went to a kitchen bathroom showroom kind of, and I was just looking at $20,000 stoves that I wish I could have.
And then you got very depressed.
One day I'll have those wolf. We decided we're going to be a wolf family, not a Viking family. The Golden Globe nominations are out, but I think we'll talk about that to close this podcast when we're doing some talking Oscars. So let's get right, and we'll just tell you what we thought about a few of these shows and a few of these movies that we've been watching lately. Sound good?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Do your thing.
We're going to start with the TV side and a strong recommendation from Zach. And I think Irma too, but I fear most of you won't be able to see it because it is on Paramount Plus. But if they're still doing a free trial, if you can find, I don't know, maybe you get like a week free. I don't know how it works, but you should do it for a lovely Australian comedy called Colin from Accounts. We did discuss it on the Excitometer, if you go back, but it was just your classic rom-com, meet cute, will they or won't they, but it's Australian and it's like...
I've heard that it's like You're the Worst compared to that, you know?
Yeah, not as, I don't want to call it brutal, but like, they were way worse. You're the Worst, they were way worse people. There was just like a dry sense of humor, but it was so funny. Even all of the side characters were so funny. The people he worked with were hilarious. An actual fun tidbit, they're actually married, the two leads. So they wrote it together and they star in it together. And it's just great.
Yeah, I honestly really loved the show. I feel like it's a good show to just like have for when you're watching like The Curse. Let's put on Colin from Accounts after, you know.
Palate cleanser.
And also it has a very, very cute dog. So if for anything, watch it for the dog.
The dog is wonderful. It reminded me of if anybody watched Platonic on Apple, but much better. So the show with Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne.
Yes, very similar actually. You're right.
Kind of. Well, they own a brewery. The guy owns a brewery, so that's similar. Except those ones, they're not friends in this. They're strangers who meet. But it had a similar vibe. But Colin from Accounts was so much funnier and just so satisfying. It was great. Highly recommend. Use your Paramount Plus promotions if you can find it. Next, a show I honestly didn't think I was going to watch because the thought of it annoys me. But then we turned it on because we heard it's good and you simply can't turn it off. And we watched it so fast. It is the Squid Game Challenge, like the reality show that Netflix made Squid Game into. And the reason why I was against it is because Squid Game was so good, the show, and I felt like this was just a cash grab, bastardizing really great art to just have people compete. Like, it just felt weird.
No, it was so good.
Yeah, the producers of this show should get some major props. This was obviously not their first rodeo. They did a fantastic job not only recreating the scenes and the setting and the vibe. Seen more people cry in my whole life. And anything. Everybody cried. It was insane. Like bawling, uncontrollable crying because they were so messed up. Anyone that doesn't know, so Squid Game, obviously the fiction, they were playing to not be murdered.
And win all this money.
Right, but like the consequence was murder. So that is brutal. the way they get around it and keep it obviously not equally as consequential, but people were like really, emotionally invested because it was $4.5 million.
Yeah, over.
Which is an insane amount of money. So like obviously losing, you're going home and you're alive, but you're devastated for losing that amount of money. Also, some controversy out of this. Apparently, there's been like a lot of the contestants coming out talking about their experience.
Yeah.
Have you heard any of this?
No, I haven't.
The bridge stunt doubles.
What?
Yeah, the falling was not them. They shuffled them off, dropped people, and then kept going. Or they pre-filmed the falling, and they just said that square is not the right one, and they were gone. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's stupid. I don't like that.
Second,
I guess, if you're gonna get hurt, you don't want to get sued. I don't know.
I also heard that because it was in a hangar, as we saw in the behind the scenes after, it was apparently very cold, and people had circulation issues, and they're suing them for frostbite and such.
Oh God.
So a lot of behind the scenes issues, but they're making a season 2, so it didn't devastate the show. Again, I think we recommend it. It was too long. Probably 2 episodes at least too long. Some of the end was it got parts were frustrating. It wasn't the best show, but it was definitely captivating, and I couldn't turn it off. We kept being all right, we just need to finish this, which is a classic Netflix thing, right? Next show. Now we're getting the 3 prestige dramas that we talked about that we were very much looking forward to, and we'll start with the most controversial and confusing one. It is The Curse. That's on Showtime and Paramount Plus. I think everything on Showtime is on Paramount Plus now. And you go first.
Yeah, this is definitely a frustrating show to watch. You see these characters doing these things and saying these things, and you're just like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? But a part of it, but see, it's kind of funny because Joanna Gaines, to me, I'm watching her hotel redo, which I'm sure.
Yeah, you've been back on them lately.
Well, no, they just put out a new show, so I'm watching it, and I like Joanna Gaines. She's extremely smart, and she knows what she's doing. She knows what she wants, but sometimes she kind of comes across very I don't want to say unlikable, but she's just not trying that hard to put on a show for the camera. She's just doing what she wants to do, and it's being filmed, and that's why Chip is so great, because he's really funny, and he brings out a softer side of her, which I think is a really great dynamic. But I don't know, that's not this.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's not a 1-for-1. It's just general.
Yes.
So anyway, we'll see.
So I'm also recommending that hotel show.
Okay, true. What's it called?
Oh God, I have no idea. But it's on HBO. Yeah. I don't know.
Irma tends to and I kind of agree with her. So the renovation shows, obviously, there's several networks that it's literally nonstop. Irma's an interior designer, as you all know. But we tend to the ones that are one larger project, rather than one episode of somebody's dining room.
Yeah, because we watched that hotel.
Sarah's House.
Yeah.
From way back when she would redo an entire house. She was Canadian, which is why she has Sarah's House.
I know,
we
I
miss
forgot
her.
about her. I do miss her. Yeah, I wonder where she's up to.
Yeah, but it's because this one, it's the hotel is the whole season, right?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. You see a lot of the process.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one too. You snuck in another one. Look at you, pro podcaster. So I have honestly been, just to put a button on it, every time The Curse comes up, I say, unfortunately, I can't recommend it. Watch it if you want. But we're going to do 2 shows right now that definitely watch those before The Curse, unfortunately. And then
I would say maybe wait until all of the episodes are out, and if we say oh, it ends really well, then sure, watch it. I mean, if you love Emma Stone, then watch it. I do wish it was just shorter. It's an hour. It should be 30, 40 minutes max.
Yeah, I agree. If this is what they're doing, the episode should have been a half an hour.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
Moving on to Murder at the End of the World, which I think was my #1 most excited from November.
Did it live up?
I gotta say, I think it is. I think it is living up to what I expected. It is a murder mystery, but it feels like way more than that. And I don't want to really give anything away, so I can't get too detailed. But it feels like the perfect murder mysteries. So if we like compare it to Haunting in Venice, which we both didn't like, and that's because there was really nothing to it other than who did it, and who did it became pretty obvious. And like nothing really mattered. So for a murder mystery, you have to have either like an excellent whodunit. Like I think Rian Johnson has built really good, like whodunit, really concise, 2 hours in and out. But to make that into a show is a lot harder to do because you got to really extend it out. And this show is much more about the characters. And like who is doing the murdering will be revealed, I assume. Mm-hmm. But like it feels more like what will the future be? And like talking about billionaires and rich people and the economy and society and how we're going to survive and technology. So like within this murdering and trying to figure out what's going on is like a lot of just conversations and ideas about the future and how the world is going to be.
I do find really interesting. Yeah, I'm like a little torn with this show. Like in general, I do enjoy watching it and I am finding it pretty compelling. I just feel like, so this show is like oddly split. There's like a true crime portion and then a murder mystery portion. Which just feels slightly odd at times. But then like with the murder mystery, they're like in the end of the world, I guess you could say, like they're in Iceland, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we were introduced to like the people in this hotel pretty early on, but then a lot of them have disappeared, which maybe is intentional. So you kind of forget about them. But like, I haven't seen them in so long. And
crime, but whatever. That's more of like the love story, like filling in the gaps of Bill and Darby. Yeah. Like it doesn't really matter that they're hunting down a killer. It just so happens, and that she's very good at it. We're told.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think it like fills in the gap. Otherwise, like we wouldn't realize how much she feels for him.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, and it's also like not really about like who did it. It's mostly about why they did it.
Yeah.
Which I find like actually kind of more interesting, because at this point, like, I don't know if I care who did it, because I don't really know a lot lot of the people I'm feeling. I feel last episode,
except
Clive,
the one that we think did it.
I mean, who knows? Yeah. But in the last episode, we finally got like Clive Owen's episode, and I thought he was so good, and I'm like, where's he been?
Yes, I thought the same thing. So I think Emma Corrin is doing a very good job playing this like very particular person. So it's hard to judge someone's acting when it's like, okay, the character is like very specific. I don't know what direction she got, but like it could be seen as a little flat sometimes. I just don't know if that's her acting or not. But then like Clive Owen comes in and just is dropping hammers, and he didn't even do that much.
I know.
And I was like, God damn, this guy is so awesome at acting. I know I say that a lot, where it's like, I don't know why it felt so good, but it felt so good watching him.
Well, he's also like menacing. Like he's scary.
Well, he's doing that thing that maybe I celebrate a lot, where it's like, he's scary and menacing, but like so confident and trustworthy, and at the same time, like just so like competent.
Yeah.
Like this competent, scary, potentially genius. He's just great.
Yeah, and Darby comes across kind of the opposite. Just you keep doing that. Kind of the opposite. Like I think she's meant to look. She also has pink hair. She's meant to look like young and like a teenager, and like very young. like curious. You know what I mean? Which is all amazing. But yeah, I feel like they're really like setting her apart from everyone else. Anyway, no, I think it's great, I agree.
Recommend. It's on Hulu, so most of y'all should have that. Very good. And finally, on the TV side, also on Hulu, also on FX, the 5th season of Fargo, starring Juno Temple and John Hamm and several other people. Jennifer Jason Leigh and Dave Foley.
Did we talk about this one at all?
I don't think so.
Right. Okay.
Maybe just
to
the
each
pilot.
other.
Maybe just the pilot. Again,